Have you ever wondered why you sometimes buy things you do not even need just to feel better? The answer lies much deeper within you than you imagine, and today we are going to discover it together. Your emotions play a bigger role in your financial decisions than you think. When you feel sad, you are more likely to spend money impulsively to fill an emotional void. Sadness reduces self-control, making impulsive purchases seem like a quick solution. Happiness can also lead you to overspend by celebrating small wins with unnecessary purchases. When we feel anger, it is common to justify irrational spending as a way to release frustration. Anxiety pushes us to seek immediate gratification, and one of the easiest options is shopping. In states of fear, we often fall into traps like fake deals or panic buying. Financial stress is a vicious cycle that feeds itself when we spend to relieve negative emotions. Each emotion has a specific impact on how we perceive the value of money. Studies show that the brain processes financial decisions differently under stress. The amygdala activates under stress and blocks logical financial thinking. Cortisol, the stress hormone, can make you seek quick fixes instead of smart decisions. When you feel lonely, you are more likely to seek validation through visible purchases like clothes or gadgets. Social media intensifies this phenomenon by displaying ideal lifestyles that seem out of reach. Constant comparison makes you feel insufficient, pushing you to spend more to feel better. Guilt also plays a role in financial decisions, generating more spending in attempts to compensate. After an impulsive purchase, it is common to feel guilty, which paradoxically can lead you to spend even more. This cycle of emotion, shopping, and guilt is what keeps millions of people trapped in unnecessary debt. Low self-esteem directly translates into poor spending habits and bad money management. Investing in your emotional well-being is just as important as learning how to budget or invest money. The key is to recognize your emotions before making important financial decisions. Always ask yourself what emotion you are feeling before pulling out your credit card. Identifying whether you are acting from fear, sadness, euphoria, or anxiety can change your financial future. Emotional awareness is the first step to regaining control of your financial life. Without that awareness, it is almost impossible to build a healthy and stable relationship with money. Have you stopped to think how many of your recent financial decisions were emotional, not rational? Today we are going to learn how to detect and correct those patterns to build a strong financial mindset. Imagine that every bill in your wallet is an extension of your emotions, not your logic. Each impulsive purchase is an emotional story your brain tried to write to feel relief. Modern advertising does not sell products, it sells emotions, happiness, success, and social acceptance. When you understand this, you become much more resistant to consumer manipulation strategies. Brands invest millions in studying your emotions to predict your buying decisions. That is why it is so important to develop a conscious mind before walking into a shopping center. Every time you see an irresistible offer, ask yourself, do I really need this or am I trying to fill a void? A 5-minute pause before buying can be the difference between a smart expense and an emotional one. Dopamine plays a key role by giving you a reward sensation when you make a purchase. This dopamine spike is short-lived, which is why many times after buying you feel the same or worse. Lack of emotional control when shopping can be as harmful as an addiction. Shopping addiction is real and affects millions of people in today's world. It is not just lack of discipline, it is an emotional chemical imbalance that must be taken seriously. The first step is identifying the emotions that trigger your spending impulses. Keeping an emotional journal of your purchases will help you uncover patterns you have not noticed until now. Write down every time you feel the urge to buy, what emotion comes with it, and what event triggered it. Over time you will discover that you do not buy because you need, but because you feel. Understanding your emotional triggers is a powerful tool to improve your economy. A mind that understands its emotions not only spends better, it also invests better and saves more. Fear is one of the worst financial advisors you can have in your life. When fear dominates your decisions, you tend to buy unnecessary insurance or make poor investments. Learning to distinguish rational fear from irrational fear is a skill that will protect you for life. Financial anxiety is not solved by spending more, but by learning to manage your thoughts. Remember that no intense emotion is a good advisor in money matters, not even excessive enthusiasm. Enthusiasm can blind you to financial risks and lead you to impulsive investments. Never make a major financial decision immediately after a piece of exciting news. Intense emotions reduce your brain's critical capacity and increase your impulsiveness. That is why it is vital to give yourself space to process emotions before moving your money. Each emotion holds a valuable lesson that, if you learn to listen to, can guide you toward financial freedom. Personal finance experts do not just analyze numbers, they also master the art of regulating emotions. Great investors share one trait in common: emotional control in the face of losses or gains. Warren Buffett once said that temperament is more important than IQ when it comes to investing. Financial self-control is not about being cold, it is about being conscious and acting for the long term. Those who react emotionally to every market move tend to lose more than they gain. Emotional patience is one of the most profitable virtues you can develop. Rush and impatience are emotions that silently destroy entire fortunes. Every time you feel financial urgency, ask yourself if it is real or just a fleeting emotion. Taking a deep breath and waiting can save you from making mistakes worth thousands of dollars. Money moves fast, but financial wisdom builds slowly, step by step. Every global financial crisis was amplified by collective emotional reactions of panic. Mass fear creates financial bubbles, desperate buying, and rushed selling. Those who learn to stay calm when everyone loses their heads are the ones who prosper most. Investing without emotion does not mean lacking heart, it means using reason as your main guide. The market rewards those who can think clearly when everything seems to be burning down. Your emotions can be your best ally or your worst enemy depending on how you learn to manage them. It is not about suppressing emotions, but about recognizing them and not acting under their immediate influence. Financial maturity is born when you stop acting on impulse and start acting on strategy. Every conscious purchase strengthens your emotional and financial self-control muscle. Each emotional purchase weakened that muscle in the past, but today you can start rebuilding it. Emotional debts are the hardest to pay because they accumulate silently. A credit card used emotionally is a ticking time bomb in your finances. Conscious saving is not just a financial habit, it is an act of self-love and self-respect. When you save, you do not just accumulate money, you accumulate personal power and emotional stability. Money does not buy happiness, but emotional money management does buy freedom. Every time you choose financial self-control, you are investing in your future well-being. The best investment you can make today is to learn how to manage your emotions around money. Because it is not about how much you earn, but how you think and feel about money that defines your real wealth. Money reflects your inner world more than you imagine, even if you are not yet aware of it. When your emotions are chaotic, it is hard to have organized finances because everything is connected. Your relationship with money mirrors your relationship with yourself and your deepest emotions. If you believe you do not deserve wealth, you will spend or lose your money even if you earn a lot. Low self-esteem generates poor financial decisions as a form of unconscious punishment. Financial self-sabotage is real and begins with thoughts like "I am not good at managing money." Every negative thought about money creates an emotion that affects your daily actions. Limiting beliefs like money is bad or money corrupts are invisible barriers. Changing your beliefs about money starts by questioning where they come from and whether they still make sense. Many of those ideas are born in childhood from watching how your parents spoke and acted around money. Your financial story is not just mathematical, it is also emotional and deeply rooted. Healing your story with money can unlock financial potential you never imagined. Some people save money out of fear, others spend it to feel powerful, both are emotional extremes. The balance lies in using money as a tool, not as a refuge or a form of control. When you understand this, you begin to make clearer and less reactive decisions. Decisions based on clarity generate financial peace, while those based on emotion create chaos. No financial strategy works if you do not have emotional stability. Even the best investment plan fails if your mind is ruled by uncontrollable emotions. Working on your emotional intelligence gives you a competitive advantage in the financial world. You do not need to be an expert in economics to improve your finances, you need to understand yourself first. Money flows to those who are emotionally prepared to handle it with maturity and focus. Often, you do not need more income, but more emotional awareness to keep what you already have. Each unrecognized emotion can become a constant and silent money leak. That is why it is key to do an emotional review of your financial habits at least once a month. Think about how many times this month you spent out of boredom, fear, sadness, or anxiety. Make that list and start observing the patterns that repeat most in your financial behavior. Just observing without judging already begins to restore your power over your economic life. Emotional self-observation is the first step toward a healthier and more conscious financial life. After observing your emotions, the most important moment comes to start acting differently. Small emotional changes lead to big financial changes in the long run. For example, replacing the urge to buy with the habit of writing down what you feel. Or replacing an impulsive purchase with a walk, a coffee with someone, or a creative activity. Ultimos párrafos a continuación para cerrar con la frase requerida. Remember that every emotion seeks an outlet, and you decide whether that outlet will be healthy or costly. Between feeling and buying, pause and ask yourself, what do I truly need in this moment? Many times, you do not need to buy, you need to talk, breathe, sleep, or simply let go of something. Well-managed money is the result of well-channeled emotions, not just willpower. As you develop your emotional intelligence, you also strengthen your financial freedom. True freedom is not having millions, it is having control over yourself in every decision. That is why emotionally unstable millionaires lose fortunes, while ordinary people with discipline prosper. It does not matter how much you earn. What matters is how you feel about what you earn and how you use it each day. Emotions are not enemies of money, they are allies if you learn to listen without letting them rule you. Be grateful for every emotion that has taught you something about how you manage your financial life. Even past financial mistakes were emotional guides that you can now transform. Forgive yourself for the errors made and start building from awareness, not from guilt. Your financial future depends more on your emotional present than on your economic past. No one taught you this in school, but today you can begin to teach it to yourself. With each new emotion managed, you will have taken another step toward your best financial self. Do not underestimate the power of your inner world, because that is where all external decisions begin. Today, you can choose to be the owner of your mind and your money, not a slave to your impulses and emotions. And that choice begins right now, with every peso, dollar, or euro you decide to use. Every time you delay an unnecessary purchase, you are training your emotional freedom muscle. And every time you choose to invest in yourself instead of spending on impulse, you are building lasting wealth. You are not alone on this journey. Many are awakening to this new financial awareness. But few take the step to truly work on their emotions to transform their wallet. You are already taking that step by finishing this video and opening yourself to this deep and necessary reflection. And if you apply even a part of what you saw today, your financial life will change more than you imagine. Real change is not just in Excel, it is in your mind, your heart, and your personal story. So if you want to take the next step, remember this final sentence carefully. Subscribe so you can learn how to change your mind and your money to generate wealth.